Hi, I'm April. I am a singer-songwriter and music teacher, and happy Modal March! For the entire month of March, we are talking about the musical modes. Today we're talking about the most and least commonly used modes in Western pop music. If you do enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more things like this. So we're going to start today by talking about the most common mode, Mixolydian. Mixolydian, or Mixo for short, is our fifth mode, because when we count up that major scale again, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixo. And Mixolydian is found everywhere. I'm beautiful in my way, 'cause God makes no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby, I was born this way. Girl, you really got me now. Got me so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so addicted to the loving that you feed into me. Oh, baby. She's got a smile and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories where every breath was as fresh as the bright blue sky. So yeah, everything is in Mixolydian. It is super, super common, and there are probably lots of reasons as to why it has become the most common mode, but I have a couple of thoughts about it. First though, let's take a look at what the Mixolydian mode actually looks like. So just like with all of our other modes, we're gonna start on that root note, right, which here is gonna be G if we're gonna use all of our white notes again. So the first thing that we can notice there is that our T was lowered to te. Other than that, it's exactly the same as a major scale. And te is actually a really interesting note to lower because you've got a whole step from our seventh to our root. As to why that Mixolydian scale is so popular, my best guess is that te going to do is very reminiscent of the blues scale and of a dominant seventh chord. Both of those things are very, very common in blues and in jazz and subsequently in rock and roll. So we as a culture have become very, very used to hearing te do. So when we hear that little we're kind of used to associating it with edgier sounding music. It's got a little bit of attitude. It's a major scale, wearing a leather jacket with like rhinestones and stuff. And all that it really took to get us there was lowering that T to a te. My other guess as to why Mixolydian is so popular is the guitar. What I like about you, you hold me tight. I'm the only one, wanna come over tonight. The guitar is a super popular instrument in Western pop music. Because of the way that the guitar is held and the way it's tuned, some of the easiest chords to play on this instrument are E, A, and D. Which is to say that most beginners who are learning chords on the guitar are pretty quickly going to learn chords that are in that Mixolydian scale. Which is why so many songs are written with just those three chords. That progression, E, A, D, A, E, is a Mixo progression. Even as we get a little bit more complicated on the guitar, G, F, C, F, G. Mixo progressions really do find their way onto the guitar because of the way that it's tuned and the way that it's shaped. It's also inextricably linked to blues music, which is to say that we have naturally built-in associations with certain chord progressions and melodies because they kind of tickle our blues fancy. I don't know that I like tickle my blues fancy.
I like that a lot.
Yikes. Woo, okay. Now, damn Now that we've talked about the most common mode, let's talk about the most uncommon mode. And when I say uncommon, I mean like I literally have only ever heard one song in this mode. And I'm gonna link it below because it's literally my favorite video on YouTube. So why don't we hear Locrian anywhere? There's a really good reason for that. And I think it's right there, staring its sweet little tonic right in our face. So our root chord here is a diminished chord. Already, from the root, we have no center. We have no gravitational pull here. All we have is this really dissonant starting chord. Do, ra, mi, fa, se, le, te, do, do, te, le, se, fa, mi, ra, do. So an interesting thing about Locrian Mode is that Locrian Mode didn't exist in the popular awareness until about the 20th century. Because, like, who would have thunk it, right? Now it kind of behaves more like a theoretical mode as opposed to one that's actually used in real life. The problem with writing in Locrian Mode, and the reason that we don't really see it around very much, is the fact that when we're playing in Locrian Mode, we have that do, ra, mi sound that we also had in another mode. Do you remember which? Phrygian, you're right, maybe. So when we actually hear do, ra, we pretty naturally fall into the assumption that we're in Phrygian mode. And it's really hard to crawl our way back out of Phrygian mode once your brain kind of thinks you're there. Now, the only way to really cement yourself in this mode in a real way is to emphasize that say over our diminished chord. Say, ra, do, ra, say. There are totally places to use this mode. I don't want to come across like I'm trying to say not to use it. In fact, please do. I think it's a really fun thing to try, and honestly is going to come across as really cool if you play it in the context of like Halloween or in some sort of like scary, intense, dark sounding thing. Very rarely is this gonna sound like sunshine and fairy dust. But you know what? Go right ahead. In a previous video, we talked about the concept of prosody, and this is exactly when it would be really, really funny to use flowers and sunshine, flowers and sun. So all that said, I hope that you take Locrian Mode as a challenge. And if you can find a really awesome way to use Locrian Mode, please do send it to me. I want to see everything that you try to do with Locrian Mode. I want to see your Locrian song. And with that, I hope you continue to have an excellent modal march, and I hope that these videos are helping you with any modal mayhem that you may be up to. I hope that you're mixoing things up. And if these videos are helping, please let me know in the comments below. Give this video a like, and feel free to subscribe so that you don't miss more videos like this one.